an issue that concerns the whole world. It needs to be on every channel, on every station across the world. It needs to be the headline in every newspaper, and it needs to be the top priority of our government and the government of every country over this world.
Today we are supporting people all over the world, kids who have asked adults to come and join them all over the world. We are doing our part in Carlisle as part of a global strike.
This is what democracy looks like! This is what citizens look like! This is what community looks like! This is what a youth side looks like!
The willful complicity displayed by our government has shattered meaningful democracy and cast aside the common interest in favour of short-term private profits. It becomes the right of its citizens to seek redress in order to restore dutiful democracy and to secure the solutions needed to avert catastrophe and protect the future. It becomes not only our right, it becomes our sacred duty to rebel. We refuse to bequeath a dying planet to future generations by failing to act now. We act in peace with ferocious love of these lands in our hearts. We act on behalf of life itself. Thank you.
I don't understand why people don't care about pollution, climate change and plastic in the sea. If we carry on the way we are now, then in 12 years the damage we have done to the earth will be irreversible. We are ruining our planet, and now it's getting its revenge.
We believe that we have a responsibility to protect the environment from the effects of climate change for the next generation. Now why can a group of 11 and 18-year-olds put climate change forward on the agenda when a set of overpaid adult MPs can't?
Today, young people from all over the world are out striking for their futures, and I am proud to stand with them. As a teacher, educator and trade unionist, I could not be more proud of their drive, passion and activism. But to be honest, I'm not really surprised, as climate change is absolutely a global emergency and our young people are literally fighting for survival.
I am here to tell you to stop climate change. It is very bad because everything on Earth will get killed. Trees, bugs and maybe even you. Please stop digging up fossil fuels because I don't like it at all. Please plant more trees. Everyone do something now. Thank you.
Ice is melting, polar bears are dying, penguins are dying, humans are dying because of overheating.
I love animals, I love beautiful places, I love beautiful views, I love being where nature is. In my lifetime all this will end. We are all making a big difference here at this. We are getting people's attention, we are fighting against climate change and we are going to win.
They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum, and they charged the people $1.50 just to see him. Don't it always seem to go that you don't know what you've got till it's gone? The paid paradise, put up a parking lot.
Some people will tell you that young people should be in education instead of striking today. They're right that young people should not have to strike for their future and for a livable planet, but they are wrong to say that this is not education.
And the children are here because they want to be. The children are here because they have learnt, as part of the curriculum of science, geography, citizenship, ethics, they've learnt the science of climate change. They're not happy about it. And I've already had the question asked of me today, what are you doing? Taking children out of school? Are you in favour of truancy, Mr. Frost? And I say, not at all. This is part of their education. If that future is in jeopardy, is in danger, then we have to include it in their education, and give them a platform to say what they have to say.
The essence basic, without doing make it, allow me to make this child like a nature. Rhythm, you have it and you don't, there's a fallacy, I made them. Every spark tree, every child piece, every planet sea. See with your eyes, see structure in their minds, corruption in disguise for this fucking enterprise. I'm starting to realize the rustle, not as muscle, but percussion that arise.
And we look at this climate challenge, not only from Carlisle and Cumbria perspective, but what's happening in the world, which driving people out of their homes, their lands, and their countries. Unbridled industrialization is affecting our climate, and our glaciers are melting. And if I go back to where I come from, my home country in Kashmir, we have one of the largest glaciers over there, and they are affecting the livelihoods of our people. There were the whole villages and the valleys submerged.
The job isn't over after today. The job is only just beginning. We've got so many things that we have to be getting on with, and we cannot afford to have people putting things in our way and say, well, that's too expensive, or, well, it's not really a problem, is it? The climate science says, yes, it is a problem, and we ignore this at our peril. The cost of not dealing with it is much higher than the cost of dealing with it. So let's get on with it.
In a zero carbon Cumbria, we would see an improved quality of life. We would see cosy, warm homes that everybody can afford to heat. We would see integrated, accessible public transport that everybody can afford to use. We would see thousands of climate jobs created. We would see a better world for our children.
Who would like to walk and cycle and take public transport more for your journeys? Who wants affordable local buses there when you need them and a joined up public transport network? Who would like solar panels on your roof and a properly insulated house to reduce your fuel bills?
If every single one of us lived our lives in the most sustainable way we possibly could, and then inspired those around us to do the same, then we would change the way our planet is going. If one person was to spread a message to 10 people in one day, and the next day those 10 people each inspired 10 more, then it would only take 10 days for the whole world to have heard that message. So never think that you are small or insignificant, because by being here today, and by changing every action in your own life, you can make a difference.
Climate change and carbon emissions, it's linked to wealth directly. So the more money we have, the more likely we are to have high carbon footprint. And the more likely we are to be able to save ourselves if the water starts lapping at our doors. You know, the reason I'm standing here isn't because all these bad things are happening, it's because we can do something about it. That's why we're all here, isn't it? I mean, none of us would be here if we felt that all was lost. And that's the important thing. We must act.
Just to remind everyone, you're part of a movement that's right across this planet just now. There's about 200 million people across this planet today joining us all over. Please remember that we're part of something much, much bigger.
The people won't listen, even though they're shouted at by a million different voices saying you need to do something before it's too late. All of this makes me so sad and so angry. But I have to use that sadness and anger in speeches like this. And I need to take that sadness and anger and I need to turn it into hope. And today is giving me